We're starting a series profiling local candidates you'll see on November's ballot. Last week, I interviewed Russ Fulcher, Idaho's representative from the 1st Congressional District. This week, I spoke with Fulcher's challenger, Democrat Kaylee Peterson. And in tonight's second part of 3, we hear her positions on environmental protection laws and how she says Idaho could be leading the charge in renewables.
So when I think we look at these EP regulations, we have to look at the other renewable energy that will have a greater effect on Idaho, which is solar, which is wind, which is hydro and geothermal, all of which we desperately need the EPA and those regulations for. And there's a few different reasons for that. A lot of people don't realize that several of the ways that we manage our communities and our environment here in Idaho is through EPA grants. So the funding that communities rely on in order to prevent going to taxpayer dollars in order to go to emergency funding is through EPA grants. The timeline issue on electric vehicles is frustrating because I wish that we had been talking about this 20 years ago, 30 years ago. And I think when we look at the money behind the opposition to this kind of regulation, we see oil, we see fossil fuel industries, we see so much money flowing through lobbying dollars into Congress in order to oppose this kind of regulation. So yes, we are behind the ball, but we don't have that much longer to think about these issues.
Peterson referencing both diminishing oil and coal reserves paired with climate change. Peterson argued that transitioning to renewables would soon be a necessity. I asked about her feelings about the role of another renewable energy, nuclear power, as Idaho is home to the Idaho National Laboratory, which has played a crucial role in the development of nuclear power through the years.
I think that Idaho has a difficult relationship with nuclear because I have talked to several communities that unfortunately have had a negative experience because it wasn't regulated properly, because it wasn't properly funded, because we didn't have the research into how we were going to deal with different aspects. So I think what communities are looking for is to build trust with the nuclear markets. And in order to do that, we need innovation, we need funding, we need kind of a restored interest in nuclear power in the state. But I know right now, there are clean energy contracts that would be lucrative job opportunities, specifically in wind. I mean, our steel workers, our electrical workers, these are the long-term job opportunities that Idaho workers are looking for. And so that's something we can do right now that would really help improve our markets and our future in renewable energy.
Pivoting from energy policy, with less than 100 days until the election, I asked Peterson her thoughts on the 2024 election and the matchup between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris.
I am seeing energy and momentum, not just in my community, not just across the state, but across the nation in ways that I have never seen before. I think people felt disconnected. I mean, we know 1.6% of elected officials in this country come from a working class background. I think people stopped being able to see themselves reflected in their government, in their leadership. The ticket with Kamala and Tim, I mean, this ticket, people can see themselves. They see a hardworking, Midwestern, working class veteran dad, and they see a woman who's risen her way through being a prosecuting attorney, through politics, and is now our potentially first female president. I think people are excited about that. They want to feel represented. They want to feel like they have a voice, and this ticket does that. My hope, as always, is that Idahoans will start voting for the candidate. Start voting on integrity, moral fiber, transparency, accountability, and look at individual candidates for the policies that they offer and how hard they're willing to work for the people of this state.
Tomorrow, we'll share Kaylee's thoughts on foreign policy and conflicts in the Middle East and how she's campaigning back here at home in Idaho. We'll continue to bring you interviews with candidates all the way until November. Idaho's 1st Congressional District encompasses the Panhandle, extending down into the southwestern edge of the state. Remember to register to vote. Scan this QR code if you're new to the area and need to register to vote, or if you want to check on your registration. It takes you directly to Vote Idaho by Idaho's Secretary of State office. You'll also find what to do if you moved, changed your name, or haven't voted in the past 4 years.